Welcome back. Today I am going to attempt another session of Puzzle Rush Survival. It's been a couple of weeks since I tried that last time and I didn't have the greatest result then. Part of it is exhaustion, because these tend to take a while, usually an hour or more on my end before I edit them. And after a while, my brain starts to get tired. But anyway, I'm going to do my best. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm not a titled player or a chess coach. I'm just a random person who enjoys chess, and I'm trying to get better at it. I don't think I've had a ton of success in getting better at chess, although I do think I'm better than I was when I started this channel. But a lot of other players have gotten better too. Anyway, let's just go. I'm going to click play. Usually the first ones are fairly easy, and this one I assume they're going to take that knight, and then I'm going to checkmate them like so. The first few are usually just checkmates. Like this one, they're going to have to block with the rook, and I take it. Okay, this one is not a checkmate one. This one is a pawn race. Okay, my first instinct was just to move this b pawn, but if that's it, then why was it a puzzle? Let's see. If I do move the b pawn, they're going to move their g pawn, I assume, because they want to promote also. I'm going to move, they're going to move, I'm going to move, they're going to move, I'm going to promote, and they're still too far from promotion. So it's got to just be moving the b pawn, right? My guess is it's going to be after I promote. What am I supposed to do? And I'm probably supposed to come down here and check and then win their pawn. Assuming they made the pawn down here. I'm not sure, but I'm going to move the b pawn. They did move the g pawn. Okay, we're going to keep going. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to promote, and if they go again, then it's definitely this check, but I don't know what they're going to play after this. But nothing else makes sense other than promoting. Oh, that was it. I thought there was going to be another move. Well, my bishop's cutting off the escape square there, so this has to be just the checkmate with the rook. Yeah, that's a lot easier than the pawn and king endgames. I'm not sure why they're rated about the same. In this one, I think I have a checkmate just by moving the knight up here to f3, because the knight then would cover this square here. Oh no, they would block with their knight. No, it's a double check. They can't block with their knight. Okay, yeah, that's why it has to be knight to f3 instead of knight to somewhere else, right? And they can't take the knight because the queen's also checking them. I think this is just checkmate. Took me a second. Okay, they're attacking my queen, but I think I have checkmate right over here because my knight is guarding f2. And they have to move over that way because, let's see, my bishop's guarding h7, so then I would just go down with my queen. They would have to take with the rook, and then I would have checkmate with my rook. Pretty sure. Let's just do this and then check here and checkmate. I have a bishop guarding right there, so I think I just have a one-move checkmate because my queen isn't pinned or anything. This is the exact same thing here, right? Yeah. Here I have checkmate with the queen because my knight's guarding h2. Let's see, they don't have anything guarding that, do they? No, okay. And in this one, I think I go to h2. They can't come up here because of the pawn, so they're going to have to go over one. And then I don't know if I check with the queen or check with the rook. That's going to be the hardest part, is the second move, right? And then we'll figure out what's next. Okay, well, I'm going to go queen to h2 first. Oh, it stopped. Hold on. I've got to go there and see what it should have been if we... Oh, I meant to hit the analysis board. Okay, it stops there. Let's click the analysis board. I'll check the ones that I got wrong at the end, but the ones that I got right and want to check, I have to do right away. Otherwise, I'll forget which ones they were. Okay, so, sorry, they have to move first. They played there taking the pawn. I have a mate in 3, it says. Okay, but what happens after they go here? Does it matter? It says I can go to h1 and have a mate in 3, or take here and have a mate in 2. So it definitely was not taking this pawn with the rook, or taking there with the bishop, which was something else that I thought of, just to see. Yeah, it's just those two. Okay, so I think, man, I wish they could make puzzles continue when there were only 2 possible moves, because I didn't even think of h1. I was thinking only of taking this pawn here, or possibly taking with the bishop, or possibly taking this with the rook. Oh, and it was here. Yeah, I couldn't see that far ahead. Backing up to where I was, okay, this puzzle is already on the board. I'm playing with the black pieces. And so I think I just check with this pawn, and that's mate. Okay. That was interesting that one so early got me a little bit confused. I have several different checks, lots of different checks here. I mean, I also have checks that are really bad, like, you know, coming up here with my queen, that's bad, or coming up here with my queen, I'm pretty sure is bad. They would have 2 legal moves. Then I could take the queen, and when they took back, I run with the pawn, and they can't catch it. Okay, I'm going to try that one. That one seems like the best. And I'm going to take the queen, and they take there, and they can't catch the pawn. Oh, there's another move. Well, it's probably moving the pawn. Okay. It didn't go on, so maybe on the next turn I had multiple choices, but probably moving the pawn would be the best one. I also have the knight check after I take their queen, but I don't think they have an actual attack right now. If I take their queen, let's assume they'll take back, and then I will check with this knight at that point, I assume they would take the pawn, and then I would take the rook. If they take back, then I would take back with my rook. So I would just be up in exchange. Okay, I'm going to trade queens, and then do this check here, which is a fork. Oh, and it's not going up in exchange. I'm just going to get the rook, because my rook's down here guarding it, I think. Okay, so it stopped there. Is that my only safe check? I think my only safe check is queen to g3. Okay, let's say that I check queen to g3. I don't think they would move over to f1 because I would have mate. My knight's guarding that, so they would probably go to h1. And if they went to h1, then I have this check, which would be mate. So it's probably queen to g3. Oh, they blocked there. So then it's probably here, and then they move over, and then I have mate with the knight, I think. Okay, let's try queen to f2, and then checkmate. All right, a couple of these 800 ones are, you know, a little tougher than they probably should have been. I think I have mate in 2 here. I think I check queen to d3. They could block, but I don't think that they will because my rook's guarding that square. I would just take, they would have to move over, then I would have mate. Or they could move the king over, in which case I would have checkmate. So they can't block with the queen, they can't block with the bishop. I think it's queen to d3. Oh, and it stopped because I had mate either way, I guess. Let's see, I have a check by taking this pawn, and that's checkmate. But this one's rated around 1,000, and it felt easier than a couple of those 500 and 600 ones. But I'm probably missing something, right? Okay, queen to f3 check. I don't think they can block it. Yeah, I think that was checkmate. Wait, is it taking the rook first? Let's see. If I take the rook first, they're going to take back, right? But then I guess I could put this rook over here, which is protected by my queen, and that they would have to get out of the way, and then I would pick up the knight. That way I would go up in exchange and win a piece. So that's better. But wait, that's not what they have. They don't have to do that. If I take the rook, they might take my queen, and then I would take back. Then they would take my bishop, and then I would put this rook over here. And when they saved the bishop, I would get the knight. So I think it's taking the rook with the bishop. And they did take. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and they take there. I'm going to put the rook on d8, and I would have one of those pieces. They chose to save the knight. Oh my, yeah, that was pretty tough for 1,000. And the one right before it was incredibly simple. I have a passed pawn that's going to beat their passed pawn, right? I mean, I don't know what else to do. I'm going to move the pawn. Oh, they got the rook out of the way first. Well, I'm still going to promote before them, and I'm going to be pointed at the rook. They moved here not just to get out of the way of their pawn, but now they can come down. Because if I push again, they're going to put their rook down there, but then I can guard the promotion square with my rook, I think. Yeah, they did that. So I'm going to come here with my rook. Oh, it stopped. Okay. Oh, and that was weird because after it changed, I still have a rook right there. This one seems a lot easier than the last couple because that's checkmate, is it not? I'm playing with the black pieces. I think this is checkmate. Okay. Here I do not have a checkmate, but I am playing with the black pieces, but I just win their rook, don't I? Because they have to get out of check and I win the rook. I mean, they could block with the pawn, but I would take that too. And then however they get out of check, I get their rook. I think I'm just going to win this game. That's got to be it. Oh, they did that. Okay, so I'll take the pawn and the rook. They could have kept the pawn, but they didn't want to. Okay, well, I can take this pawn with check since they didn't take my bishop. But if I check there and they take with the knight, and then I take with the queen, then they could block that check with this bishop, and that would end up guarding the rook at the same time, but then I would get this bishop too. That seems okay. I'm going to try that. And take this with check. They block with the bishop, and I pick up this bishop. Okay. Let's see. I do have a check. Is that my only check? No, I have a check here. I have a check there. I mean, they could block with the pawn, but I'm just going to take it, and then they have to move the king, and then that's mate, because the king would be up here. I'm going to check queen to h4. Oh, it stopped. Okay, real quick, I just wanted to make sure that I understood that one correctly because very often I do not understand these and it doesn't help me if I don't understand them. Okay, so that was the mistake. I have a mate in 3. Okay, because after this, their best move is to block with the pawn and my only move would be to take it and they have to come up. And again, I have an only move. Yeah, why didn't that puzzle keep going? I had only moves. Okay, we have another endgame puzzle. This time I'm playing with the white pieces. My pawn only has one legal move. And that's not a good one because they'll take and I'll go here and whatever they do, I'll take it and that'll be a stalemate. Draw by insufficient material, not stalemate. That leaves this one as the only move that makes any sense whatsoever. They might try to bring their king closer, but then I'm going to bring my king closer and it's over. Okay, it's probably this. They did that. Okay, well, it's almost certainly king to g4, and it doesn't make sense to go back, so it has to be moving forward. Oh, well, it's taking the pawn now. Has to be. I'm going to take the pawn. Ah, now is where the plot thickens. Not that much, because I've been in this situation before. I'm pretty sure I have to keep moving my king. If I don't, if I move the pawn, they're going to try to get in front of me. And if I move the pawn again, they're going to get in front of me. And then I'm going to check them, and they're going to get in front of that pawn, and it's over. Okay, I'm moving the king forward to g6. Oh, they went forward again. And I could keep them from getting to the corner by putting my king over here, but then they come up, and I can't get my king out, and it's going to be a draw by repetition. They just stay in opposition from my king. But if I move the king forward and they try to come around me the other way, my king will be cutting off these squares, so they'll have to come back. And then I move the pawn. They come here, I come here, they come here, and my pawn's defended. Okay, I have to move the king up one. Oh, wow. 4 checks, if you count that one, which I don't because their rook's guarding that square. But while I was doing that, and I was just kind of in my head thinking of that, I realized then their queen would be free. Because they would probably take my rook with their rook, and then I would get their queen. I'm going to try that. I don't know what else they'll do. And if they just got out of check, I would take their queen. I'm going to try that and take their queen. Okay, that worked out. Although I've had trouble beating an opponent who's really good. Guess I could take this pawn, and I'm threatening this bishop. If they take mine with their bishop, then I would just pick up this rook. So I think I just get the pawn, and then I don't know what my opponent plays, but I might get the bishop too. But my queen's defended two different ways, so I'm not worried about a discovery attack. I'm going to take that pawn. They did take there. Well, then I'm going to take the rook down there on c2, like I said. Hopefully that's right. And then take their queen. Yeah, it's got to be taking the queen, right? I mean, their rook's undefended for sure now, but I want to take their queen and then get out of check by moving my king to the only place it can move. I have another legal move, but who's going to choose that when I can just move the king? I'm going to move the king to g7. And then I'm going to move the king pretty sure to f6. I mean, I could move back, but I don't want to. I'm going to go forward. Oh, okay. Got it. I think here I just get a free knight, don't I? I'm trying to figure how my opponent has a way to not just give that knight to me. Because once the knight's out of the way of these two pieces, I'm threatening checkmate down there. So they have to do something to block the checkmate. I guess they could just block that threat with the bishop and then... But then I would just take it because my queen's defended and we would just trade some pieces. I'm just going to take the knight like this. And oh, they did that with the bishop, but I can just take that, right? And they're going to take me. I'm going to take them. And then they're going to have a choice of whether to take this knight or to take the bishop. And then I save the other one, I think. Oh, they took there. Well, I'm going to take their queen. And just to be sure, on this one, I had to go check the analysis board because, I want to learn from them. Before the whole thing started, we were even on material, right? So I take the knight. They block my checkmate attempt because it's a bot, not a person. If I was playing a person, they might have taken this. I don't know. Anyway, so now I'm 2 pieces ahead. And when they take here and I take here, and now they have a choice of to take here or take here. And either way, I'm going to continue to have one more piece than them. It says their best move is to take the bishop. Okay, and then I would run away with the knight. It says over here, but why not over there? Knight to g6 is my 4th best move. Oh, I forgot to set this back to 2 moves. Okay. Okay, so I didn't understand. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, in this one, we're about even on material. We're even on pawns. One difference between myself and my opponent is that I have an outside pass pawn. I could just move it, but if I move it, they're going to put their rook over there, I think. No, if they put the rook over there, I take the bishop. Before I started talking, my thought was to take the bishop first, and then they would take with the rook, and I would take with the knight, and they would take my knight, and then I would push this pawn, and they can't catch it. But they might do something different at one of those turns. Okay, but what if I play the pawn first? Then what does my opponent play? Then my opponent moves this bishop here, don't they? And that pawn's pinned, and my rook's threatened, and that bishop's guarding the promotion square, and they're threatening this check. So that's why I think I have to take the bishop first. I'm not going to take with the knight first because then they get my rook and they're close enough to stop this pawn. So I'm going to take the bishop with the rook. Oh, all that and it stopped. All right, I'm over half an hour now. I've got to stop and start a new recording so this whole thing doesn't blow up. All right, welcome to the second half. And just for a little background information, every time I have forgotten to stop and start a new video file, and this one video file stretched out to like 50 or 60 minutes, when I try to edit, my editing program just crashes repeatedly. So I have to try to remember to stop it at half an hour. What was I doing? I was solving puzzles. I can take this knight, but they could take back, and then I could take the pawn, and I'm cruising, I think. Or I could just take their queen. Wait, their queen's undefended. No, it's not, because the knight's there. So yeah, why don't I just take the knight first, and then they'll take my queen, probably, and then I'll take their queen, and then they'll take my bishop, and I'll take their pawn. Do I come out ahead on that? No, I just come out a pawn ahead. That doesn't make sense. What if I take the queen, and they take my queen, and I take their rook, and they take their... That also comes out about even, and I didn't get the pawn. What if I just move this rook down one? Is that okay? Well, then they're going to move that knight someplace. Okay, so what do they play if I just drop the rook back to f4? Okay, what if I take the knight with the rook first? Then they take my queen, and I take their queen with this rook here. And I would come out a piece ahead. I think. I'm going to do that. Oh, it was that. Well, I'm going to take here because otherwise I lose the rook to the pawn. Pretty sure. Let's see. Yeah, if I take here, I mean, they could take me and I'll take back, but I'm a piece ahead. Oh, they did take there. Okay, I'm a piece ahead. Oh, I'm glad I saw the rook for the knight thing. I know that there was possibilities I didn't consider. I know that there were, but I am already starting to feel a little bit of exhaustion. So I'm going to be as careful as I can here. Do I not have checkmate if I put this? Let's see, my rook's not pinned, right? Isn't that checkmate? Sorry, this looks like a mate in one. So I'm being very cautious because what? They can't block that. They can't move out of check. Okay, I'm going to play rook to c8. I think that's checkmate. That should not have been a 1600 rated puzzle. Okay, yeah, they told me they improved the puzzle ratings. I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong. Is that puzzle worth being rated 1600? I do know that if you click on it sometimes over here, it'll say, yeah, it was rated 1400, not 1600, because the rating's different over here than it was over there. But even then, that's too high. That should be like a 400 rated puzzle. Tell me if I'm wrong. I might be. Let me know. What do we have? We have a check here. I can just pick up that bishop. I have to get out of check. I think they would only have one legal way to get out of check. And then I just got a bishop. I don't know what to do after that, though. Right now, we're even on material, right? No, they have a whole extra bishop. Oh, okay. But I pick up this bishop for free. Nothing they can do about it. And they only have one legal move at that point because the pawn's pinned. They can't take my knight. They would have to go to h8. Okay, then what if I take the bishop, they go to h8, and I bring the knight down to e8, threatening the checkmate with the queen on f7, and threatening their queen at the same time? I think they would have to give up the rook for it, and then I would pick up the rook, and I would have a queen and a rook for their queen and bishop. I don't know, maybe, let's go. Oh, it was that. Okay, so is it that? Is it knight to e8? Oh, I hope so, because that's what I'm going to play. Oh, it was that. And just get the rook, right? Because nothing else makes sense now. All right. Okay, see, that one I feel like probably 1600s is pretty good for that one. Threatened my knight. I can check them and then get out this. That doesn't make sense. They're going to pick up a pawn if I go that way. But that is not my only check. I have a check over here too, which they could just take with the pawn. How about I check here when they move over? But that's pretty complicated. Oh boy, I don't know. I'm going to check down there on e2. It was that. Okay, then I'm going to push the e pawn, right? Oh wait, no. I've had puzzles like this before. It is giving away this rook, right? Because my knight's cutting off those two squares. They have to take that rook, and then I bring the other one over, and it's checkmate. Pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. I didn't see that pattern until after. Oh, they had to block with the bishop. I'm going to take it, and that's checkmate. Yeah, I didn't see the pattern until after I played the first move with the knight. I need to get better at seeing that pattern further back. All right, in this puzzle, we are not quite even on material. My opponent has an extra pawn over here that is passed, and they have an extra pawn on the F file. But as far as pieces go, we are even on material. Do I have any checks? I have a check down here, which I assume they would take, and then I would check, and they would get out of check. I do also have another check over here, rook capturing an h3, in which case I assume they would take with the pawn. Then I could follow with another check, and then they would get out of check, and then I would check with the bishop over here, and they would have to block with the... Oh, it's probably that. I'm going to try that. Okay. Yeah, because here, if I check with this bishop, my queen's cutting off all these squares. They have to block with the rook, and I'll take it. I think that's checkmate. Let's do that. Oh my. I almost didn't see that one. I don't know what they should have done, but I have a pretty safe check right there. That would force them to move over one, and then I would not have a checkmate because their bishop is guarding that square. I could back up and check, and I'm not sure where they would go, but then I would win the rook, but then they would win my bishop. Should I take the bishop first? No, because then their rook would be here, and I wouldn't be able to take this, I think. Oh boy. Oh, 33. That's the number that I reached on my last Puzzle Rush Survival, isn't it? Maybe I'll surpass that this time, but I don't know. But again, I am definitely feeling the fatigue, so I probably need to do this more often or play, longer games when I have the time. Anyway, let's just take there. They did move over. I'm going to go here and I guess take the rook. Or no, what if I got the bishop out of danger now? I bet that's it. I'm going to do that. I didn't see, I think that's the answer, and I didn't see it until after I played the first move. Yeah, they have to block there. I think this is checkmate. Where's their queen? Yeah, that's checkmate. Okay. All right. Well, I did better than last time. That's great news. Okay, the knight is pinned. So that was probably their bad for putting it in there. And check with my rook, and they can't go here because of the pawn. And oh, that's just checkmate. Let me confirm, because my rook will be covering those two squares. Their own pieces are in the way here. My queen is covering this, and my pawn is covering this, and that knight is pinned, so it cannot move. Yeah, this is checkmate. A checkmate in one. Rated 18 and nearly 1900. If I click on that, will it still say 1900? No, it's only rated 1400. Both of the ones we checked were rated in the 1400s. I wonder if we checked all of them, if that would be the case. My opponent is up a piece, but I can promote right now. Then I'll be up a piece. Well, not a piece, but I'll be up a queen for a bishop. Should I promote first? Give me one good reason to not promote. If I promote, can they skewer me or something? No, I would just take that because they don't have this. Oh, but yeah, wait. If I promote to a queen down on g1, they could check with the bishop. And when I moved out a check, they could not skewer me. Okay, because their bishop would be in the way of that. Also, I could get out of check by going this way. I'm pretty sure I want to promote first. Sorry, nothing else makes sense. I'm going to promote? Well, then I'm going to take the rook. What? Right? It's got to be taking the rook. Okay. Oh, they had a pawn. I didn't even see their pawn. Good grief. If I had seen their pawn, I would not have done that. Okay, well, I only have two moves, and it makes a difference somehow. Oh boy. I'm going to go to the light square because they have a dark squared bishop. Yeah, that scared me because I did not see that they had a pawn on a7. I'm going to go to f7, and then I'm going to go over here. e6. If I go to e6, they can just check me again, still protected by the bishop. But if I go over here to the g thing, then they can skewer me and get my queen. So that's why I'm going to go to e6. Oh, and it stopped. So I don't know what would have happened if they checked me again. Oh boy. Yeah, I did not see their pawn over there. Wait, all I have is a queen and a bishop. I'm two whole rooks down. That's depressing. I mean, I could take the bishop with the pawn, but then they're going to take here with jack. Okay, well, pretty soon I'm going to have spent as much time staring at this puzzle as I did on that entire first half of the video. I don't have an answer. It's probably obvious. I do have a free pawn. I saw that. That's the only thing I see, and I also have a bishop for a pawn. But again, they're going to check me, so I don't know. But neither of these, checks are good. That check's not good. This check's really bad, I think. I'm going to take the bishop. Yeah, it wasn't it. Okay, we'll check at the end and see what it was. Again, answer might seem, really obvious to some people, but I'm going to check them with the knight. Oh, that was it. Oh, well, now I'm going to win the rook. This one's okay. And then I'm going to... Oh, well, that was fun. That was rated 2000. Seemed easier than the one before it, although I didn't give it much thought, so I don't know how easy it was. Okay, here I do have a check on the back rank, but they can block with the bishop, but I have a bishop guarding that square too, so guessing we're going to have checkmate here in just a second, because that's got to be checkmate because of my bishop. That was rated 2055? Sorry, come on, chess.com. I know you've spent a lot of time fixing these puzzle ratings, but that's elementary. What's it rated over here on its puzzle page? 1320. That's not a 2000 puzzle. And I'm surprised it's 1320. It has an 84% pass rate. Yeah, also, obviously I'm tired too, but that's irritating that they made this huge claims about fixing their puzzle ratings. That's not a 2000 puzzle. Okay, but I do have a safe check here, which leaves them only one legal move. I also have this check here, which, wait, that's checkmate. It's mate in one. My bishop, my pawn, and my king are guarding all these squares, and then my queen would be guarding all these, and that one, and my bishop's guarding here. Is that checkmate? That's 2100. Sorry, I'm going to check that one too. Rated 1597. Okay, yeah, see, this one seems a little more something. Because if they took back, I would have checkmate, right? Okay, I'm tired. I'm going to take the knight. They did check here. Well, I have two legal moves. But I want my queen to stay here, so I'm going to move my king. Oh, I hope that's right. Oh, then they did that. Well, now Well, again, I have 2 legal moves, but giving up the queen destroys my whole plan of taking the knight. So I'm going to move my king over to this E square. Oh, then they've pinned me here, which doesn't matter because, oh, I was going to say because I have checkmate, but I don't because their queen's guarding that square. Oh, but I can just take this rook. Oh, okay, I'm going to take it. Oh, and I'm going to take that one too. All right, yeah, that one actually did feel like a 2000 puzzle. I'm surprised I'm still in it. Or what if I pushed the other pawn? That's what I would play in a game. I'm gonna do it. Oh, it worked. Well, I'm gonna keep pushing it then. When they checked me, so I'm gonna go this way to the C file, because if I go that way, I start to run out of room because of where their king is guarding some squares, I think. So I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna keep going. Oh, oh, I can just take that pawn. I'm gonna take the pawn. Oh, that wasn't it. All right. Okay, well, let's just try to follow this out. If I take the rook, I assume they're going to take me, and then it doesn't help to push the pawn because they would just take that too. I feel like I could figure this one out if I just thought about it for a little bit longer, but I just don't have the time. Okay, well, I made it to 40. That's better. Oh, it's a 7th of all time, so that's a little bit better than I thought because I've done this a bunch. But let's take a look at the 3 that I missed. This one that says it was 1960, but it's actually only 1700 and something. And this one, they took that, and what did I do? I took here. I don't know what my other options are. I mean, I could have checked over. It was checking over there. Didn't expect that. Well, then is it checking up here? Probably. And then they go back over there, and then it's checking over here. Wait, was that mate? Oh, because of this other pawn. Okay, because that kind of entered my mind at some point, but I didn't think I had a mate. But yeah, I do have a mate because if they had gone this way, that was mates. But so they went this way, and this is mate because of the pawn. Okay, I understand that one. That's good. Let's go with this 2200 one. This one's actually rated higher than it said it was. Okay, well, then I don't feel bad about it. And it only has a 14% pass rate. Now, this one I figured out to push my C pawn and then push my C pawn. They checked me, I went this way, they checked me, I went this way, and then they pushed that again, and that was not the answer. What was the answer? Was it to push my king forward to guard the promotion square? That was something else that was on my mind. It wasn't that either. It was, yeah, I have no idea. What was it? It was keeping the rook from seeing the promotion square, so they just give up the rook. And if they hadn't have given up the rook, I would have been guarding that promotion square as well as this. Okay, well, if I promote now, they're going to promote with check. But I think I have to promote. I'm going to promote. That was not promoting. So it was something else. It was not promoting. All right, I'm going to click the hint button. It was promoting over there for some reason. Oh, okay, I got it. It's promoting over here, so then when they take that, this promotes with check. I understand. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Okay, so I figured this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was an 8-move puzzle? Yeah, that was an 8-move puzzle. Oh my goodness, that's pretty long. But yeah, I understand it. Using the bishop to keep the rook from seeing my pawn in its promotion square, so they give up the rook for it, and then promoting the other pawn to force the king onto the back rank so that when I do promote the second pawn, that they're in check and not able to promote with me being in check. That was pretty complex. I understand why that would be rated 2400, but at least I did understand it at the end. This is the last one that I missed. In this one, they attacked my rook. I took their rook. That wasn't it. So was it checking? It was checking. And then pushing the pawn? It was pushing the pawn. And then was it pinning the rook? I just noticed my other rook still hanging. Was it pinning the rook? It was pinning the rook and giving up mine. And then checking here, letting them have the pawn and taking their bishop. Oh, wow. Okay, trying again. So it was checking first because they can't take my rook if I'm checking them. Oh, and they couldn't come this way because of the pawn and my rook down here. So they chose to go back instead of forward. Okay, so I pushed the pawn, which threatens that rook. And now I pin that rook, give up that one in order to do this. Check, they take the pawn. Yeah, depending on how good the opponent is, I'm not going to win this one either, but I understand that technically that's winning. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with this. It was 7 puzzles better than my last outing. If I look at my leaderboard, my top score of all time was 48, like I said, and then once I hit 45, once before that, I hit 42. Well, the 45 was earlier this year, but the other 2 top 3 were the previous year. And also twice this year, I hit 41, and once last year I hit 41, so those 3 are all tied. And then today, okay, so I don't feel too bad. I'm like I said, I'm happy with it. The last time that I tried this was down here where I only got 33, but yeah, 40 is much better. I'll keep working on it. Thank you for spending your time here. Let me know what you're doing to get better at chess, and I'll see you next time.